What's the story behind your trust issues? A few years ago, I lived across from an alcoholic who reminded me so much of my brother before he got clean. I felt an obligation to help him. My friends warned me not to get involved, but I didn't listen. Before long, I was spending 3 nights a week with him, waiting for an ambulance as he went through withdrawal. I truly believed I was doing the right thing until one night, he wouldn't stop grabbing my chest. From that moment on, rejecting his advances seemed to make my life unravel. Fires started outside my windows. Mutilated rats appeared on my doorstep. I was terrified. The police were called after every incident, and a friend on the force suggested I install cameras. So I did. It didn't take long before I caught footage of him standing outside my yard at 3 a.m., just staring into my window. Some part of me was waiting for him to finally do something bad enough to land himself in jail. And 2 weeks later, he did. There were builders working in the yard next door, and apparently, they woke him up at 4 p.m. In retaliation, he grabbed a kitchen knife and chased after them. He even went after the neighbor's dog. Thankfully, no one was hurt. When the police searched his apartment, my cop friend told me something that made my stomach turn. He had never been an alcoholic. The entire time, he had been faking it. He'd get into ambulances, ride to the hospital, check himself out, and walk right back home. I felt so stupid. And I wished that were the end of it. But it wasn't. Before he was arrested, he put my picture, address, and phone number on a human trafficking website. He was eventually sentenced to a few years in prison, and I have a restraining order now. But even with him locked away, sometimes I still feel his eyes on me.